Hey everybody, it's Chad from Ocean Sales, and today I wanted to talk about how there's no better way to clean, sanitize, and disinfect your floors without using any chemicals and leaving them bone dry within 60 seconds than the Smart Living Steam Mop Plus. Now the great thing about this mop is the only thing that ever goes in this tank is just regular tap water. Now filtered and distilled water are great, but regular water works fine too. Just make sure you empty it at the end of each use. Now this holds about a cup to a cup and a half worth of water, and this is just going to steam away for 15-20 minutes. There's no buttons to push, there's no handles to pump. Now because it's not pressurized, you can actually do what I'm doing and add water at any point in time. It's not like the other mops out there where you have to shut them off and then heat them up each time you want to fill them up with water. And the only button we give you, we keep it pretty simple, but we only give you this blue on and off, and that's it. So it heats up in 30 seconds the first time you plug it in, and you can use it right away. But I'm going to make you a bit of a mess, because it is hard to show you how to clean a clean floor. And I just use wax. Main reason being it's like grease. It just streaks and smears whenever you try and clean it up with water. But it leaves a film on your floor, kind of like a greasy residue, the same kind of residue the chemicals leave behind that show everybody all the streaks and the footprints on their floor. So the first two floors I have are hardwood, and this one I got right here is a laminate. Now if it's ever something with texture or grout lines, that's what people tell me they get on their hands and knees to scrub. It's all the stuff that ends up in all the textures on the floor. Same if you're ever working on something like a tile or marble or granite. Now the steam is always going to be the one that breaks down all your dirt and debris. But what's actually going to lift that stuff up off your floor is your microfiber pack. Now you guys know microfiber, it's great stuff. So if you wash these pads once a week and put them in the dryer, it'll last you about a year. If you hang the pads to dry, they'll last you a little longer. The only thing when washing microfiber pads is you don't want to use fabric softener or bleach, right? Just detergent. And they're just Velcro. So I don't want anybody getting down on their hands and knees. You just line this up and that's it, you're good to go. Now when I say the mops aren't pressurized, you get what we call a saturated steam. What I mean by that, at 110 degrees Celsius, steam's a vapor. So when I start to go back and forth, it's not shooting boiling water all over my floors. So you're cleaning. Now remember, at 110 degrees, you're actually killing the bacteria and disinfecting. You're polishing your floors, but the most important thing, especially when you're working on any type of wood surface, is under 60 seconds when I'm done, that floor is going to be bone dry to walk on. It's never going to let water to sit on your surface over time. Now it doesn't matter if you guys have real hardwood. Again, if it's any kind of the laminates, just because it's not pressurized, you don't ever have to worry about lifting or hurting the finish of the floor. And the nice thing that sold me years ago on my mop, because I have a lot of dark laminate in my house, is because you're not using chemical cleaners. One is you're not letting all those little residues sit on the floor and get the lines and the streaks. But what sold me is when you're done and you actually go to walk on that floor and the sun hits it, you don't get all these little sock prints following you around the house, right? You only wash the floor once. Now, if it's something with texture, because I still have people tell me to get on their hands and knees with a brush to get into patterns and grout lines on floors, the steam has nowhere to go but down. So it's always going to channel into little pits, grooves, and indentations just to break up all the dirt that gets into the texture and the grout lines. And this is why we use a microfiber pad and not a towel. So instead of pushing all the dirt around on the floor, you're always lifting. Microfiber is never going to transfer dirt from surface to surface. Now ceramic towel is the same thing. Now if you're working around furniture, what we did a few years ago is we actually added a little ball to it to give it a swivel. That way you can get around the furniture legs and the tables around in the kitchen and the living room. But we also gave you a little button up top to break the handle down. This is the back saver handle. So this just makes it easier to get under furniture to save the back a little bit. Now the last thing I wanted to show you too is for carpet. Now I want you guys to know this is not a carpet shampooer. You are not going to take this home today and deep clean 3,000 square feet of carpet. But if you have heavy traffic areas, or if you just have flattened down over time, you get a little carpet glider. Sit the mop in the glider with the microfiber pad and go back and forth. What you're going to do is you're going to deodorize and sanitize the carpet. You're going to pull the pile back up. So for the area rugs, to have heavy traffic areas, it's amazing for that. And then one last thing to show you as well is you do have a little button on the back of this mop to take the handle out. And this makes it really great for it. If you guys want to take this into the living room, take this over the furniture, run it over the couches and the car seats where the dog sits to get rid of the everyday grime. I always recommend once a month taking this mop into the bedroom and going over your mattress on the bed. It'll kill dust mites and bacteria for anyone with allergies, or even just to do your kitchen countertops with our arborite or granite. Now these mops have been our #1 seller for more than 12 years, and they are available year-round on our Ocean Sales website, but they are also available for a reduced limited price at special event roadshows at Costco's throughout the country. So I'm Chad McBride, and here at Ocean Sales we want you to live better, and we'll show you how.